Good afternoon, everyone. The program is about to begin in just a few minutes. Good afternoon, everyone. The program is about to begin in just a few minutes. Good afternoon, everyone. The program is about to begin in just a few minutes.
To our audience and participants, please be reminded of the following.
Avoid sending inappropriate matters. Netiquette for webinar. You may turn on your video, but your audio or sound should remain muted. Refrain from sharing your screen or files. Avoid sending inappropriate matters on our chat box. Should there be concerns, type on our chat box while the session is ongoing. There will be an open forum where the plenaries will entertain your question. Make sure to watch the entire webinar to receive certificate of attendance. Attendance link will be posted here in our Google chat box before the end of the program. For your question regarding the attendance, registration, and the Google Meet details, please message us. Happy listening, everyone. Netiquette for webinar. You may turn on your video, but your audio or sound should remain muted. Refrain from sharing your screen or files. Avoid sending inappropriate matters on our chat box. Should there be concerns, type on our chat box while the session is ongoing. There will be an open forum where the plenaries will entertain your question. Make sure to watch the entire webinar to receive certificate of attendance. Attendance link will be posted here in our Google chat box before the end of the program. For your question regarding the attendance, registration, and the Google Meet details, please message us. Happy listening, everyone. Netiquette for webinar. You may turn on your video, but your audio or sound should remain muted. Refrain from sharing your screen or files. Avoid sending inappropriate matters on our chat box. Should there be concerns, type on our chat box while the session is ongoing. There will be an open forum where the plenaries will entertain your question. Make sure to watch the entire webinar to receive certificate of attendance. Attendance link will be posted here in our Google chat box before the end of the program. For your question regarding the attendance, registration, and the Google Meet details, please message us. Happy listening, everyone.
A pleasant afternoon to all of you. Thank you for joining in this webinar. To all pre-service teacher, also to our very own professor in Tech TL9, Mr. Marlon C. Altiche. Your presence is so much appreciated. To begin, may we request everyone to keep on silence as we proceed for our interfaith, to be followed by our national anthem and our ASEAN hymn.
Para sa lahat, anuman ang kultura, tradisyon at reliyon na pinagmulan mo, tayo ay magkaisa para sa panalangin na ito. O Diyos na may likha ng lahat, kami po ay nanghihingi ng iyong pagpapala para sa kaganapan na ito. Salamat sa oras na ibinigay niyo sa amin mula sa paghahanda at hanggang sa ngayong araw na ito ay aming ipepresenta. Kami po ay patuloy na nanghihingi ng iyong gabay para sa kabuuan ng webinar na ito.
Please give us a good internet connection and smooth operation in our technical areas. We can do it without your grace, wisdom, and patience. Thank you also to our professor and student teachers for assisting us in completing this task.
Dawatin mi o Apo, mi pamindisyon mo kadagiti amin ad-ada ita. Nakapartisipar ken detoy nga aldaw, nga income pa nagtitipon. Kastamit kadagiti adda iti live stream, tapno maadaan di iti nga aananay ad-adan, nga inda maiyuswat ti inaldaw-aldaw daa palagbiag. Kukwam amin adayo ken gloria, dawatin mi amin dagitoy tip na patag anagan mo. Amen.
Mga kababayan, ang pambansang awit ng Pilipinas. Kayang mag-ibig, telos ng sinakanan, alam ng puso, sa dikit mo'y buhay. Lupang hinirang, tuyag ka ng magiting, sa manlulupin, di ka pasisigil, sa nagkakatutok sa simoy at sa langit ang pangaw, ay hinatang tula ang awit sa pagkayang minamahal. Ang isa kang matawad mo'y tagumpay na naghihindig, ang bituin at parang kailan ang may di maghihindig. Luman ang araw ng warhagit pansin ka, huwag langit sa pinig mo. Ang bigaya ng
Distinguished guests, participants, ladies and gentlemen, my dear friends, a pleasant afternoon to all of you. My name is Marz Peñalosa.
And I am June Price Ariola. Pleased to welcome you all to our TechTL9 one-day webinar entitled Productivity Software Application and Tools for Teaching and Learning.
This webinar will tackle the productivity software application and tools of teaching and learning in the new normal. Ladies and gentlemen, I believe that we are in the right place by participating in this webinar at the right time. As of this moment, we have now 28 participants in our Google Meet. Happy listening, everyone.
Together, let us accelerate the exchange of ideas and scaling up of good practices. I am confident that everyone here will obtain a useful information in teaching technology for teaching and learning in this pandemic time. But make sure you listen to the entire program.
Without any further ado, let us now call Mr. Ashley Sanchez, assistant leader of this group, to give us the opening remarks for today's event.
Thank you for our handsome moderators. Good afternoon to all participants, pre-service teachers, and to our very own Mr. Marlon C. Altiche. Good afternoon. On behalf of our group, we just want to extend our gratitude for having your virtual presence in today's one-day webinar entitled Productivity Software Applications and Tools for Teaching and Learning. We hope and expect your full attention and cooperation throughout the webinar. Let us all be excited about what the plenary speakers will show us later. Again, I am Ashley Janu Sanchez. Enjoy every presentation and put the new learning into application.
Thank you very much, Mr. Ashley Jan Sanchez, for your lovely introductory remarks.
We are also have our leader, Mr. Louis Cura, to give a statement of purpose and welcome greetings to participants for today.
Ladies and gentlemen, please welcome Mr. Louis Cura.
Thank you, moderators. Great teacher will not be replaced by technology, but technology in the hands of a great teacher can be transformative. This is a quote that I remember hanging outside my study of productivity software application and tools for teaching and learning. I would like to inform all future educators about the significance of the following topics: open-ended tools and their uses in teaching and learning, Adobe Creative Cloud, and lastly, Adobe Photoshop. This webinar aims to use open-ended tools such as word processing, spreadsheets, presentation software, and authoring tools, and subject to specific applications. Recognize the application of open-ended tools in the teaching of theory. Create student output using computer application programs as evidence of learning. This entire plenary will teach you how to use the following tools, which will be useful when you become a teacher or professor someday. I'm glad I'm here to assist everyone in this webinar. And again, I am Luis Sikura from Deryck, and I hope you enjoy our presentation. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Louis Cura, for your wonderful statement of purpose.
Are you all looking forward to our webinar? What do you have over there, partner?
For today's webinar, we are pleased to join 3 plenary speakers.
Wow. Let us not prolong their agony, partner. I am inviting the 3 plenaries of this event to officially introduce our plenary speaker for today.
Let us welcome our first plenary speaker, Mr. Ashley John U. Sanchez, and he will discuss about open-ended tools and their uses in teaching and learning. Give a round of virtual applause.
Thank you for that warm introduction. Good day to our dear participants, pre-service teachers, and to everyone joining this webinar. Mabuhay! Before I start, I am Ashley Janu Sanchez from Bitivited 3K Electrical Technology major, and now I am here to discuss open-ended tools and their uses in teaching and learning, and how Kahoot is useful as an open-ended tool for teaching and learning under the lesson of productivity software application and tools for teaching and learning. But before anything else, here are some reminders as a matter of netiquette. Let me provide these guidelines for this webinar. First, find a place with a minimal disturbance for you to be able to listen actively and concentrate during the webinar. Second, if lines are open, turn off your microphone. Third, as much as possible, turn on your camera. Fourth, use your pen and notebook to jot down any important information that is being discussed. And lastly, respect and actively participate in order to have an active discussion. Following these guidelines is so much appreciated. Thank you for your kind consideration. Before we begin, I prepared something for you to use as a motivation and an overview of my topic for today. Are you excited? Great. I call this motivation, Guess Me with a 3. This is something like with perfect's one word, and I know that some of you are already familiar with this. But for those who are not, this is my instruction. I will be going to show you some pictures and you will be able to guess what those pictures mean as you combine them together. But don't worry, I also provide a clue which helps you to easily identify those pictures by filling out the missing letters for you to come up with an answer. And I will only give you at least 5 seconds for you to think about it. Is it clear? Great, let's begin. So here are the pictures. 1, 2, and 3. Can anyone guess and make the missing letters complete? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Time's up. Very good. I have seen some of your answers, and let's see if your answers are correct. Outstanding. The correct answer is open-ended tools, which is our topic for today. Before we start the discussion, I just want to have an agreement with you, wherein every time I say, is it clear? I want you to answer me, yes, I got it. Is it clear? Great. To start, allow me to show the learning objectives for our topic for today. At the end of this program, the participant should be able to: first, define what is open-ended tools in teaching and learning. Second, identify the types of open-ended tools that are used in teaching and learning. Third, recognize the advantage and disadvantage of Kahoot as an open-ended tool used in teaching and learning. Fourth, produce a simple quiz as part of students' assessment using Kahoot as an open-ended tool for teaching and learning. And lastly, number 5, appreciate Kahoot as an open-ended tool that is useful for teacher and learner. Is it clear? What will you say? Great. Let us now proceed. But first, let us define what is the meaning of open-ended tools. Open-ended tools came from 2 different words. First is the word open-ended, which means having no determined limit or boundary, where there is no minimum or maximum that is being set, and you are freely to do whatever you want without setting a limit or boundary. Next is the word tool. And when we say tool, it is whether electronic, digital, or physical that can help humans to perform tasks or generate products easily. Did you get it? Is it clear? Great. So what is the meaning of open-ended tools? The word open-ended tools defined as the tools that are used to construct, create, or combine to create something new. Sometimes it is digital tool, software, and application that can be used and be accessible to both teacher and students. And that is open-ended tool. Is it clear? Great. Now, let me give you the types of open-ended tools in teaching and learning and its examples. Here are the types of open-ended tools. First, word processing documents. Second, slide presentation software. Third, electronic materials reference. And lastly, tablet and cell phone applications. After knowing the types of open-ended tools, let us define it one by one and let us know what are its examples. Let's start with word processing documents. A word processing documents is any text-based document that looks the same whether it is viewed on a computer screen or printed out in a hard copy. And some of its examples are Microsoft Word. Next is LibreOffice Writer and also WPS Free Writer. The second type of open-ended tools is what we call slide presentation software, where it is a digital tool. It utilizes sequence of graphic, text, audio, and video to accompany a spoken presentation. These sequences, often called slides, are consolidated in a virtual files called slides decks. And some examples of these are Prezi, Google Slides, and Canva. Did you understand the first two types of open-ended tools? Is it clear? Great. Thank you for those who still remember the response whenever I say it. Is it clear? Your responses are so much appreciated. For the third type of open-ended tools, here is the electronic reference materials, and it defined as source of information in the form of online encyclopedias, dictionaries, timelines, handbooks, and guides, wherein these resources provides reliable and accurate quick facts, definitions, and background information on any topic. And lastly, here is the mobile or tablet application, and it defines that can make tasks easier to complete and processes more consistent, secure, efficient, and effective. And some examples of it are Khan Academy, TED Ed, and Quizlet. And those are the types of open-ended tools in teaching and learning. Are you still there? Is it clear? Outstanding. Thank you for your response. Next, let me present to you one of the examples of open-ended tool that is useful not only for the teacher, but also to the students. Do you have any idea what is Kahoot? Kahoot or Kahoot is a game-based learning platform. Creators create and display questions on the screen, and the students answer them with the help of smartphone, tablet, or computers. Teachers can even create surveys and polls through this platform. Kids can play it in real time with an ease zone. And here is the icon of Kahoot. After knowing Kahoot, this kind of open-ended tool has an advantage and disadvantage in both teacher and the student. So here are some of the advantages of Kahoot. The first and foremost advantage of Kahoot is that it offers a great engagement from the students' side. They enjoy it as it is a visualized and unique type of quiz. Next is, it has increased the students' performance due to an increase in the students' attendance. And lastly, it has effectively reduced students' frustrations level and stress about the fear for formative assessments in the traditional method. And now, here are the disadvantages of Kahoot. One of the significant disadvantages of Kahoot is that tracking the students' progress level is a complex process. Second is, because of multiple players connected to the same platform, there should be a strong Wi-Fi connection, else it would not work. And lastly, sometimes the availability of gadget can also be an issue. Did you understand Kahoot and its advantages and disadvantages? Is it clear? Very good. Now, for you to really understand Kahoot, I provide here a simple tutorial on how to create an account in Kahoot and demonstrate how to create a simple quiz using Kahoot as an open-ended tool for teaching and learning. Hope you enjoy and understand the way and process on how Kahoot is working. Here we go. So welcome. In this section, we're going to create an account in Kahoot and how to create a simple quiz using Kahoot as an open-ended tool. So just go to your Google Chrome or browser, and on the search box, just search kahoot.com. And this is how it looks like when you're already in the site of Kahoot, so you wouldn't be too nervous or confused or bothered from those words, from those icons, pictures. Just focus on this upper right corner, your sign up button. Click this, and after you click it, In this section, choose your account type, whether you are a teacher, student, or personal use or professional. So let's click as a teacher. Describe your workplace: school, higher education, school and administration, or business. Let's choose school. And in this section, we're going to put our email account to create an Kahoot account. Okay, so I'll be going to put my account here. So if you're ready, put your account here, just click sign up. Okay. And now we are in the main site. We already have the account. So in this portion, there are a lot of things, words, icons, and pictures. So our main goal is to create a quiz or assessment. So at the upper right corner, click create, and there are choices: Kahoot or course. Let's choose Kahoot. After clicking Kahoot, these are the templates of quizzes or activities in this open-ended tool, and we're going to choose create because we will create something or a quiz. So this is how look the template of making quizzes. So in this section, you can see that it is where you compile, where you see the slides or the presentation, the question that you've done. And in this section, the settings, let's go and click here. And let's put the title on our quiz. For example, quiz number 1. Okay. In the description, it is optional. Language, English, done. Okay. So in this part, this is where we are going to create the question, add some pictures, and put the choices. Okay. For example, start typing question. When you type the question, this is the suggestion. These are the suggestion of whether you're going to choose bold, italic, subscript, superscript, symbol dialog, or math equation editor. So let's input a question. Who invented incandescent bulb? And let's try to apply bold. Okay. So here we can insert picture, GIF, videos, audio. Choose GIF and search for something that is connected to the question. Like for example, Bob. Okay. There we go. And now we're going to input the choices. We know that the inventor of incandescent bulb is none other than Thomas Edison. Okay. So let's put the choices here. Thomas Aquinas, Thomas Edison, Thomas Iverson, and lastly, Thomas Madison. Okay. So we're going to choose the correct answer from these 4 choices. Choose the correct answer. Okay, it is being set that Thomas Edison is the correct answer. So now, in this section, as what you can see, this right section, this is the type of question. So the type of question that we have is these. So we can also adjust it. But the choices are in premium. Okay. So we can also adjust the time or the duration. So let's adjust it in 10 seconds. The pointing system, standard. Answer options, select or single select. But we can also choose multi-select, but this is in premium. So just click single select. So this is how it looks like in the overview. So as you can see, we put the 10 second as the time duration. 3, 2, 1, boom. The correct answer is Thomas Edison. Okay, and we've seen here that 13 participants answered who got correct. Okay, so that's it. It is something like that. So how are we going to save it? On the upper right corner, save, click the icon save. Okay. So now let's go into click play now. So start. So loading. So in this part, we can choose classic mode or T. So choose classic mode. Okay, get ready to join. So in this part, we are going to wait for the pin. So this is the pin. Okay. So now, we're going to create a Google Meet link here. And we're going to send the link of this Kahoot. Okay. Copy link and send the link. Okay. And also send the code. Okay. That's the code of the Kahoot. So now, as what you can see, there is the invitation. I'm going to admit. Okay. So let's wait for him to in or join into the Kahoot room. Let's wait for a minute. Okay. So this card. So let's go into start to begin the Kahoot. Okay, quiz number 1. 3, 2, 1. Quiz 1. Who invented the incandescent bulb? So this is the quiz that we've got. Okay. He got the correct answer, Thomas Edison. So that's it. That's how Kahoot is working on. And we know that Kahoot is an open-ended tool, and this is so important and productive in terms of student and also the teacher. And that's all.
Okay. Is the video tutorial or demonstration clear? Great. I hope that you really enjoy the video and understand it very well. I am so happy for your active participation during this lesson. I do really appreciate it. So to end up, I hope that you have learned something today. Knowing open-ended tools are so important for your journey as a teacher or learner. This would help you to discover more and know something new that is beneficial for you to become more effective and efficient. Put your newfound knowledge to use as a teacher or learner to increase your productivity. Again, I am Ashley Janu Sanchez. If you have any question or clarification, you can type it on the comment section or chat box, and this will be recognized and try to address at the end of this webinar. Thank you. Mabuhay.
Thank you, Mr. Ashley Hugh Sanchez, for your informative discussion about open-ended tools and their uses in teaching and learning.
Now, let us welcome our second speaker, Mr. Carl Angelo Boqueron, to share us his knowledge about Adobe Creative Cloud. Let's give him a virtual clap.
Good day to all participants of this webinar. Also, thank you for that beautiful introduction, moderator. Again, let me introduce myself. I'm Carl Angelo P. Boqueron from BTBT 3K Electrical Technology Major. Mabuhay. I'm one of the speakers for today's webinar. My topic is Adobe Creative Cloud, and I'm here to discuss the use of it in enhancing presentation design and its basic features with you under the lesson of productivity software applications and tools for teaching and learning. As a matter of etiquette, let me provide our webinar guidelines. First, find a place with minimal disturbance for you to be able to listen actively and concentrate during the webinar. Second, if lines are open, turn off your microphone. Third, as much as possible, turn on your camera. Fourth, use your pen and a notebook to jot down any important information that is being discussed. Lastly, respect, and actively participate in order to have an active discussion. I hope we follow these guidelines during the webinar, and thank you so much for your kind consideration. Before proceeding to the discussion, here I prepared an energizer. I named it Decode the Emoji. It is really easy to play, but let me ask this first. Are you excited? Please let me know if you're excited by sending I am excited in the chat box or comment box. Okay? Thank you to those who responded. Before anything else, let me share the instruction. First, I'll show you a group of emoji and challenge you to translate them into a word or phrase. Second, emojis with equivalent letters will be provided. Third, after I show you the emojis, you can begin decoding. And lastly, use our chat box or comment box to type your answer after counting from 3, 2, and 1. Go and send your answer within 10 seconds. Do you get it? Please send heart reactions in the comment box if you get it. Okay, we will proceed now in our energizer. This is our example. Gets? Okay, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Please send your answer in the chat box or comment box. Okay, we will reveal the answer. The answer is Adobe. Congrats to those who got the correct answer. Okay, let us proceed to the next one. What do you think it is? Okay, 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Please send your answer in the chat box or comment box. Okay, we will reveal our answer. The answer is creative. If you got the correct answer, congratulations. I hope you enjoy, and let's proceed to the last one. Okay, in 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Please send your answer in the chat or comment box. Okay, I hope you have your answer. And let's reveal our answer. The answer is cloud. Congrats to those who got the correct answer. Outstanding. Thank you so much to those who participated in this energizer. I deeply appreciate you. Earlier, we had our energizer, and if you notice, each word that was being presented is connected to our topic for today. Now, the title of our topic is The Use of Adobe Creative Cloud in Enhancing Presentation Design. Before proceeding to the discussion, here are the following learning objectives for our lesson. At the end of the program, the participant should be able to, firstly, define the Adobe Creative Cloud. Secondly, recognize the basic features of Adobe Creative Cloud on an Android phone. Then, demonstrate how to use Adobe Creative Cloud to enhance presentation design. And lastly, value Adobe Creative Cloud for enhancing graphic designs and images. Now, Let us describe first the Adobe Creative Cloud. If you are familiar or have any idea about the topic, just type it and send it in the chat or comment box. Copy? Okay, let us proceed. Adobe Creative Cloud is also known as Adobe CC or Adobe Cloud, is a comprehensive collection of Adobe desktop software and mobile applications under one umbrella. It means that the Adobe Creative Cloud or Adobe CC is a collection of software for graphic design, video, and photo editing, especially Adobe software such as Adobe Photoshop, Illustrator, InDesign, and more. I know every one of us wants to have a good presentation. Maybe with those backgrounds we are using or anything that we add in our presentation. Am I right? Do you know what's more interesting about it? That this application of Adobe can be installed on an Android or iPhone and on a desktop. On an Android phone, just go to the Play Store and search for Adobe Creative Cloud and you can easily install it on your phone while we are having discussion. Everyone, let us go to the Play Store and install it on your phone so that you will be familiar with the things that we will discuss today. Now, to all participants, if you are done downloading it, to use it, click sign in and you should enter your Google or Facebook account or Adobe ID if you have one. But if you don't, you can create your own account by clicking sign up. Okay? Are you done? If you are done, let's proceed to discuss its basic features. Are you following me? Send a heart reaction in the comment or chat box if you are still following me. Okay, that's good to know. Let us continue. For more understanding, let us discuss each action or features. In the upper part, you will see three icons: cloud, bell, and the blue one. The cloud shows the status of the action you apply to a specific graphic or photo, whether it is uploading, exporting, or background removing. While the bell or the blue one, it shows for notifications for any new updates and is used for monitoring, especially your account. Now, in the quick actions, these are the basic features or parts of Adobe CC on an Android phone. These are the following: upload, remove background, auto-tone, export as PNG, white balance, straighten, auto-crop, and create folder. Do you see the highlighted part? That is uploading. The first feature is uploading or upload. The first thing we should do before using the other actions is upload any graphic or photo that you will use in your presentation. Choose any picture and click the blue button in the lower right corner to upload the picture you chose. Notice the cloud in the upper right corner. It will show the status if it is uploading or not. Yes? Okay, let us proceed to the second feature. The second feature that I will discuss is remove background. This action will help you to remove unnecessary objects from the photo or optimize the photo for other uses or purposes. Like if you just want to get the person or anything that will be used for enhancing the background of your presentation, just click it and the photo or graphic you uploaded, then click apply. and wait for the result. I'll show you the result like that. This is the result. You will see it by looking at the original and new pictures after applying the action. Then click continue to save the file. That is the remove background. The third feature is autotone. Autotone will adjust the contrast and color of the image you uploaded, and it will automatically identify the shadows, midtones, and highlights to enhance the photo by clicking the apply button. Through it, it balances the tones of the graphic you chose. For you to clearly see it, I'll show you the result, guys. That's it. You will see it by looking at the original and new picture after applying the action. Then, click continue to save the file. That's the auto tone. Before I go to the next feature, I hope you are still following our discussion. Now, the fourth feature is export as PNG. Here, I know there are different image file types such as JPEG, PNG, GIF, and more. Now, this is my question to you. Why do we need to export or make our image to PNG? If you have any answer, just send your answer in the comment or chat box. Advance thank you to those who will give their ideas. Now, this is how exporting images as PNG files is done. First, click export as PNG. Then, click the apply button and just wait for the result. After that, name the PNG and save it in any cloud storage you want. We need more graphics in the PNG format since we can simply incorporate those altered graphics into our background design and edit them more easily because they are transparent. PNG also allows us to edit images without losing their quality. Do you get it? Okay, let us proceed to another one. Okay, the fifth feature is white balance. The purpose of white balance in enhancing graphics or photography is to adjust the colors that match the color of the light source to remove unrealistic color casts and make them look natural like this. Now, this is how we apply white balance in your graphic. First, choose your photo, then click the apply button and just wait for the result. Okay, this is the result of edited graphic or photo. After that, click continue to save your graphic. Okay, the sixth feature is straighten. This action is used to straighten, of course, or improve the composition of a photo or graphic. If the photo is crooked or twisted, you can apply it. That's the function of straightening. Okay, this is how we use it in our graphics. First, choose your photo, then click apply button and just wait for the result. Okay, this is the result when you apply it. See the difference? Then click continue to save your graphic. That's it. It's basic or easy to use. Now, let's proceed to the other features. The second to the last is autocrop. Here, these actions help you to crop your photo or graphic to a suggested size or ratio automatically when you apply it. The disadvantage here is that it is automatic and not manual, meaning you can crop pictures to your own desired size, but it is still good. Now, this is how we should apply it in our graphics. First, choose your photo, then click the apply button and wait for the result. Here is the result. Click continue to save your graphic. Did you get the process? But before proceeding to our last part, let me ask you this. Are you still following our discussion? Please send heart reactions in the comment or chat box. Now, if you are following, that means we can proceed. The last feature is create folder. With Adobe CC, you can create your own folder where you can save your files, edited photos, or graphics. This is how we should apply it. After clicking create folder, first you must give a name to the folder. Then click the create button and just wait for the result. And after those processes, click the plus button that is found in the lower right corner, and then you will see choices of whether you want to upload a file, upload photos, or take a photo, like that one. That's all the features we can see in the quick actions. Thank you for listening. That's all for this topic. Now, it is up to you to discover more about it. It has free storage and free features, but if you want to upgrade or have premium features in this app, you should buy their subscription. But if not, use those free features now. Okay? To sum it up, in this lesson, we can learn that this app may help us enhance every graphic or photo that we will use in our future presentation when we report some topics in the class. Yes, PowerPoint and other applications on a desktop can help us to create a good design, but some of us just have a cell phone to use. So I just see it as useful and more beneficial to us when enhancing the background or graphic design for presentation. Using Adobe Creative Cloud is easy, and we can just use our phone anytime as long as we have our data or internet connection. I want to say it is a helpful tool. I hope you will give yourself time to explore it more. Again, I'm Carl Angelo P. Bucaron. Thank you so much for your time and listening to the discussion. Also for active participation in this webinar. Now, if you have any questions or clarification, just keep them for now and share them later through comments or the chat box when we are in the Q&A portion of our program. Thank you, God bless, and mabuhay.
Thank you very much, Mr. Bucaron, for sharing your knowledge about Adobe Creative Cloud. That was very informative. Let's give him a virtual clap.
Okay, so let us now listen for our third and last plenary speaker, Mr. Rakris Bigabieta, and he will going to discuss about Adobe Photoshop. Let's give him a virtual applause.
Thank you for that wonderful introduction. And again, good day participants. Welcome to our webinar. And I am Rockers Oliver Bigabieta, one of your speaker from BTBTED 3K, major in Electrical Technology. And our next topic is about Adobe Photoshop, an overview of its components and how it works. But before we proceed, again, please open their cameras so I can see if you're still there. Thank you. So before we start, I want to ask all of you if you are still okay. So are you still okay, participants? Are you still fine? So thank you, participants, for responding. So I hope everyone can still participate and listen to our next topic. So just a little reminder, again, about our webinar guidelines. First is, find the place with minimal disturbance for you to be able to listen actively and concentrate during the webinar. Next is, if lines are open, turn off your microphone. Next, as much as possible, turn on your cameras. And next is, use your pen and notebook to jot down any important information that is being discussed. And last is, respect and actively participate in order to have an active discussion. So, is it clear, participants? Thank you for responding. So, before we proceed to our discussion, I prepared an energizer. And the energizer that we will do is called 4 Peaks, 1 Word. So, I guess all of us are already familiar with this. So, I will show you some pictures, then you will guess what it is. Okay? So, are you ready, participants? So, if you are ready, type yes in the comment section. Okay, thank you for responding. So, let's start. So, here is the first picture. I will give you 5 seconds to guess what is on the screen. So, just comment your answer in the comment section. Okay? So, ready? In 3, 2, 1, go! 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, time is up. So, very good. All of you got the correct answer. So, the answer is editing tools. So, let us go to the second set of features. So, here are the second set of features. So, okay, ready? In 3, 2, 1, go! 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Okay, time is up. So, some of you got the correct answer while the others got the wrong answer. So, the correct answer is Adobe Photoshop. So, that's all for our Energizer. Thank you for participating. And we will now proceed to our topic. So, a while ago, we conduct an Energizer. And as you notice, those words are connected to our next topic. Again, the title of our next topic is Adobe Photoshop. And the subtopic of it is an overview of its components and how it works. So I think you are already familiar with this. You may have heard or seen it, maybe in social media or in the internet. So for our learning objectives, number 1, identify the parts of Adobe Photoshop and how it works. Number 2, perform how to create a simple poster using Adobe Photoshop. And that is value Adobe Photoshop as a productivity software in teaching and learning. So in today's era, there are so many editing tools appearing on the internet, such as Canva, PixArt, Snapseed, and CapCut. And that's not all. There are many other editing tools that we can see on the internet. Sometimes when we are on social media, there are some ads about editing tools that we see. And some of those editing tools can help us in doing our schoolworks, which is related to editing. And but that's not our focus for today. Our focus is Adobe Photoshop. So, what is Adobe Photoshop? So, do you have an idea about Adobe Photoshop? So, let me read first the meaning of Adobe Photoshop. Adobe Photoshop is a software that is extensively used for raster image editing, graphic design, and digital arts. So, it says that Adobe Photoshop is a software and not website, okay? It is used to edit different kinds of image, creating poster, flyers, and invitation, and etc. And there are different use for Adobe Photoshop. So, when was Adobe Photoshop created? So, it was created by brothers Thomas and John Knoll in 1988. Yes, Adobe Photoshop was created by Thomas and John Knoll in 1988. And as you can see, they are siblings. And after they created Adobe Photoshop, John Knoll sold the program to Adobe system, which marketed it as Photoshop. So let us move to another points. So what is the use of Adobe Photoshop? So let me read first. It is used for editing photographs, compositing digital art, animating, and graphic design. So are you familiar with digital arts, animation, and graphic design? So like I said a while ago, Adobe Photoshop is used to create or edit images, flyers, digital poster, animation, and etc. And also, these editing tools helps the artist to bring their ideas into life. It helps the artist to show their talents about editing. And it also helps the students to create assignments or activities that require editing. And for the teacher as well, it can help to enhance their PowerPoint presentation. So let us go to the next point. So what are the advantages and disadvantages of Adobe Photoshop? And there are three advantages and disadvantages of Adobe Photoshop. So let us go first to the advantages of Adobe Photoshop. So the first advantage of Adobe Photoshop is, number one, it is one of the most professional editing tools. So let me read first. Photoshop is one of the most professional editing software available today. Yes, it is professional editing software and advanced graphic design. It provides every single tool that you will ever require. Anything can be achieved using Photoshop. So anything that you want to do, you can do it here in Photoshop. Okay? So next is, it is available on all platforms. So let me read first. Adobe Photoshop is available on almost all platforms, including Windows, Mac OS, Android OS, Android iOS, iPad OS, and etc. Yes, it is available in all platforms. Whether you are using desktop, laptop, or mobile phones, you can use this Adobe Photoshop. Either you are using Android phones or Apple, you can use or download it in your smartphone. So last is, you can also edit videos and GIF here. So let me read first. Even though Photoshop is primarily used for editing images, it can be also used for some basic video or GIF editing. So aside from editing images, you can also use this Adobe Photoshop to edit some video or GIF. So Photoshop includes the functionality to edit videos or GIF frame by frame for making quick animation or making changes to any particular frame. So those are the advantages of Adobe Photoshop. So we are already know the advantages of Adobe Photoshop. So let us find out what are the disadvantages of Adobe Photoshop. So the first disadvantage of Adobe Photoshop is, number one, it is a bit pricey. Adobe Photoshop has a $10 price every month. Yes, I can say that it is pricey, but I can also say that this is worth to spend. Why? There are some alternatives that are available, but I can promise you, if you can use the same tools in Adobe Photoshop. So next is, it can't buy in a single go. So Adobe Photoshop won't let you pay for it in a single go. Like already mentioned, Photoshop is maybe a bit pricey for some people, but Adobe Photoshop won't let you pay for it in a single go. You will have to choose between a monthly subscription or a yearly payment. There is no lifetime plan in Photoshop. And that means you will have to choose between a monthly subscription or a yearly payment. So the last disadvantage of Adobe Photoshop is beginner can get confused. Photoshop is designed to be suitable for almost any kind of usage. So that means up to a level. With the help of some tutorials, anyone can master it. But if you are an absolute beginner with no previous experience with any image editing or designing tools, you may find it a bit difficult to use Photoshop or Adobe Photoshop. But it doesn't mean you can ever be a Photoshop expert. It just takes sometimes compared to other easy tools out there. So those are the advantages and disadvantages of Adobe Photoshop. So again, the advantages of Adobe Photoshop are, number 1, it is one of the most professional editing tools. Number 2, it is available in all platforms. And number 3, Adobe Photoshop can edit videos and GIF. While the disadvantages of Adobe Photoshop are, number 1, Adobe Photoshop is a bit pricey. Number 2, Adobe Photoshop can buy in a single go. And number 3, beginner can get confused in Adobe Photoshop. So let us now proceed to our next point, which is the part of Adobe Photoshop. So what are the parts of Adobe Photoshop? So like I said a while ago, Adobe Photoshop is a software. So Adobe Photoshop has a 6 major parts. So do you have an idea about those 6 major parts of Adobe Photoshop? So what are those parts of Adobe Photoshop? And here are the 6 major parts of Adobe Photoshop. Number 1, menu bar. Number 2, option bar. And number 3, toolbar. Number 4, panels. Number 5, document windows. And last is canvas. So let's go first to the menu bar. So what is menu bar? The menu bar is used to open and save files, adjust the canvas size, access some of the editing tools, open and close various windows, and more. So here is the picture of menu bar. And as you can see in the picture, menu bar has a file: edit, image, layer, type, select, filter, 3D, view, window, and help. It is used to import and save files, adjusting the canvas size that you want, and access some of the editing tools and more. So let's move to another part of Adobe Photoshop. So number 2 is option bar. So the option bar is used to choose settings for each tool. So option bar has opacity, fade distance, and blending mode. So opacity is the changing low to high transparency of an object or image. And in the fade window, you can reduce the opacity of the last adjustment as well as change the blending mode. So that's the use of option bar in Adobe Photoshop. So next is number 3, toolbar. So let me read first. The toolbar is where Photoshop holds the many tools we must work with. So here is the picture of toolbar. So this part is for making selections, for cropping and retouching images, for adding shapes and types, and many more. So that's the use of toolbar. So next is panels. Panels contains features, information, or functionality in logical groups for fast and easy access. So here is the picture of panel. So the panel bin is on the right side of Photoshop elements. It displays tabs and panels depending on the mode you are in or the kind of elements you want to work with. So that's the use of panels. So next part of Adobe Photoshop is document window. So let me read first. The document window is the large area in the center of the interface where the image is displayed. So here is the picture of document windows. So these document windows are also where we place and edit the image. So the actual area where the image is visible is known as the canvas. So we are now in the last major part of Adobe Photoshop. So the last part is canvas. So let me read first. The workspace around an existing image within the image window. So here is the picture of canvas in Adobe Photoshop. In canvas, there is canvas size. So by using the canvas size command, you can enlarge or shrink a document's like editable area. Pixel can be added to or removed from 1, 2, 3, or all 4 sides of the image. So that's the work of canvas in Adobe Photoshop. So those are the 6 major parts of Adobe Photoshop. So again, the 6 major parts of Adobe Photoshop are number 1, menu bar, number 2, option bar, number 3, toolbar, number 4, panels, number 5, document windows, and number 6 is canvas. So those are the 6 major parts of Adobe Photoshop. And here is the end of our topic regarding Adobe Photoshop and an overview of its components and how it works. So do you understand what we have discussed today? And if yes, type it in the comment section. So thank you for responding, participants. So is there any question regarding our topic? If none, just type it in the comment section. So thank you for responding, participants. So I guess you have no more question, and I think you understand what we have discussed today. So I hope you learned something in our discussion. So I will be going to end here our topic about Adobe Photoshop. So thank you for participating until the end, and God bless. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you for your significant discussion about Adobe Photoshop.
All right. All the speakers are already done in their discussion. And at this juncture, let's proceed to our open forum.
Due to the limited time that we have, we will only entertain 3 questions coming from you.
So what are you waiting for? Type and send your questions right now.
Good evening to all participants. You can now type your question if you have any question or clarifications about the topic.
Okay, so we will have our first question coming from our participants. Our 3 plenaries will answer the questions coming from our participants.
Okay, so we have one question coming from Mr. Refugio Alter Joseph S. His question is, any tips or advice? So I think it is about, can we give any tips or advice in regards to those applications or tools, open-ended tools that we are discussing earlier. So now, on my behalf, about the topic that I've discussed earlier is that it is about open-ended tools and how Kahoot is useful as an open-ended tools for teaching and learning. So I, I can say that first things first, if you are a first timer or a first timer person that wanted to use Kahoot or any open-ended tools, you must to think that if if this open-ended tool is accessible or it can be played into my smartphones or the desktop or laptop, because there are different open-ended tools that are only limited for a particular device. And next is, I think that open-ended tools are commonly need a Wi-Fi connection or internet connection or any data connection to make it function. It's either in for learning purposes if you are a teacher or if you are a learner or student. So you must to be aware, you must to be sure that you have a internet connection or Wi-Fi connection to make it functioning or accessible. So I think, do I satisfy your question, Mr. Refugio Alter Joseph? Okay, so I think it's okay. So do you have any questions, clarifications? So don't be shy because we are just limited in time. Okay, thank you, Mr. Refugio. Okay, you can type your question or clarification, or if you just want to add something. Okay, we have Miss Diane Cruz. Her question is about, in using Kahoot, is there a specification if you are a teacher or student? So thank you, Miss Diane Cruz. So if we going back about the demonstration that I play into my pre-recorded video, on that part of demonstration, the specification, whether you are a teacher, a learner, and also there are choices if you are a personnel or administrative. So you can choose whether those specification or label that you are portraying for. So yes, they are a label or a specification that you can choose in using Kahoot. Do I satisfy or answer your question, Miss Diane Cruz? Okay, it's my pleasure. Thank you.
All right. I think that's the all questions that is that the all questions? There any questions? All right. Thank you so much, plenaries, for answering all the questions of the participants. We have been listening to various topics during this day. And as we end this webinar, may we call on our very own professor in Tactile 9, Mr. Marlon C. Alpiche. Let's give him a virtual clap.
Okay, hello, good afternoon. Can you hear me?
Good
Naririnig
afternoon,
po
sir.
ba ako?
Good afternoon
Yes,
po.
sir.
Yes.
Clear and loud.
Yes, sir.
Actually, hindi ko napanood yung first part ninyo eh. Nag-overheat ang cellphone ko kasi sabay kong pinapaandar ang aking ano. Pero, nagutan ko yung mga presentation ninyo, lalong-lalo na yung dalawang magkasunod. Satisfied ako doon sa ginawang presentation dahil yung napili ninyong speaker parang very active, very detailed siya mag-present. Pwede na kayong pwede na kayong pang final demo yung ginawa ninyong very good. Oo. I appreciate the presentation simply because the chosen presentation is an example of demonstration. Kung i-compare ko with the other groups, yung iba kasi lecture method. Pero yung sa inyo, ginawa nyo talagang demo ang ginawa. So mayroon pa kayong kulang na lang siguro ang gagawin niyo diyan, simulation. Kung nag-simulation pa kayo, siguro mas okay pa siya. Mas magiging pa, siguro dahil kulang lang tayo sa time pero when it comes to the presentation itself, mukhang nasunod niyo ng tama yung yung tamang demonstration, and I appreciate your presentation. The chosen colors when it comes to background, when it comes to font, maganda yung nagamit ninyong mga kulay. kakaiba yung napili ninyong bakit yung ganyan, ano yung tawag dyan, yung sa ano ninyo, sa ulo ninyo, para kayong santo. Bakit ganyan yung napili ninyo? Oo. Siguro ang gagawin nyo lang dyan, dahil yung buhok nyo kulay itim, dapat yung background ninyo lighter color. Para mas umangat yung buhok ninyo kasi parang naging kalbo na kayo, no? Pero gumanda yung dahil may kulay, may bilog. Oo. Siguro hindi nyo lang nagamit ng yon. Pero siya, very eye-catchy. Maganda siya dahil very eye-catchy. Okay, so hindi ko na patatagalin dahil satisfied ako sa ninyo. Ang habol ko talaga yung demonstration part at mukhang okay naman at natuwa ako dahil lahat ng question ay nasagot ng mga napili yung speaker. So very good. Yan. So siguro content-wise kasi yung presentation ninyo, at the same time technical. Maganda. Okay? So makakatulog na kayo ng ngayong gabi. Makakatulog na kayo dahil dahil tapos na ang inyong webinar. Siguro ang susunod na lang ninyong pagpupuyata yung na ninyo, yung e-portfolio ninyo for the final output. So nakaligtas kayo dahil kaninang umaga may bumagsak sa webinar, kayo, pasado kayo. So very good and congratulations.
Thank you so much, sir. Thank you.
Thank you po, sir.
Thank you so much, sir.
Thank you for that beautiful speech. Again, a round of virtual applause. I would also thank to all of you who joined and listened to this webinar. Have a great day ahead. As we close the curtain for today's webinar, I would like to emphasize my gratitude to all of those people who made this event possible. I am certain that all of you is here with us watching behind those screens. I am very proud of all of you. Thank you. This has been Jolimar C. Peñalosa.
And I am Jun Franz Ariola. Glad to be one of your hosts to this webinar. See you again.
Attendance link will be posted at the chat box of this meeting room. By answering the link, you will receiving a certificate of attendance for today's event. The distribution of e-certificate will take at least 2 days. Your kind consideration is so much appreciated.
Now, to officially end this webinar, let's have the MPC hymn.
Pagsikat ng araw, aking matatanaw. Makinang na kinabukasan, aking makakamtan. Hindi maninindim sa banta ng kahirapan. Ako na inihanda ng mahal kong paaralan. Politeknikong kolehiyo ng Marikina. Ang teknikal na edukasyon, hinintal mo't wina. Politeknikong kolehiyo ng Marikina. Talino ko'y binabantay, puro mo'y pag-asa. Sinisintang paaralan, ikaw ang katuwang. Sa pagkamit ng mithiin, siya mong hari. Kahit saan pamapatpat ay hindi mababagat. Gunom na iyong bigay ang magsisilbing kamay. Politek teknikong kolehiyo ng Marikina, ang teknikal na edukasyon, hiningal mo't mina, Politeknikong kolehiyo ng Marikina, talino ko'y pinapanday, puro may pag-asa. Marikina Polytechnic, tayo
Thank you po, sir. Thank you to all participants. Maraming salamat po. Thank you po. Your being present is so much appreciated. Maraming salamat po.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you, everyone.
Ang galing nyo, sana all.
Stay muna saglit.
Guys, congrats. Sana all pasado na.
Salamat po. Salamat, maraming salamat. Okay, group 1. Mag-stay picture tayo.
Nakakainggit.
Kaya nyo yan.
Pwede ba